You can't make deals that quickly, can you?
I think the particular tariff rates that Trump announced last week that led to that financial bloodbath are not going to come back. So I don't think we're going to hear again about those numbers after 90 days. 90 days in U.S. time now is infinity. It's eternity. We'll never hear those numbers again. Where did those numbers come from? Something, again, so stupid you can't believe that any country would do this. But the idea is the following. As I said, if you want to know what your trade balance is, you earn some income, so you sell some services to somebody and you buy things. And if you spend what you earn, you're in trade balance. Technically, you're in current account balance. Now, most of us, I work for one employer, my university, so I run a big trade surplus with my university. And then I run a pretty big trade deficit with the grocery store that we buy our groceries from, and if I have to buy shoes, I run a trade deficit with the shoe store, and so forth. Trump's idea, just to add to the craziness of it, is that you should run a trade balance with everybody, not an overall trade balance, but a trade balance with everybody. So you should sell a little bit, you should work a little bit for your shoe store, you should work a little bit for your grocery store, you should go around anytime you want to shop, you trade something. I'll write you an essay if you'll sell me shoes, and you make your living somehow trying to balance your trade with all of your counterparts. Well, this is insane. This is why we have a market economy. You don't have to have balance with every transaction that you do with somebody. But what Trump said was, oh, Lesotho, they sell us more than we buy from them. So they're cheating us. That's literally what he said. Literally what he said. Okay, is it completely delusional or rhetoric? It's delusional, okay? Just so you know. It's weird. But anyway, now, then he calculated a formula. Okay, Lesotho, we have to tax them by the amount to reduce the imports from them so that we have balance with Lesotho. And then they made some absolutely stupid formula that you would not accept in a first year, third week class. It came out of the U.S. Trade Representative's office. They probably were told, do it overnight, the boss wants it. And then they came up with a list of tariffs, country by country, based on the bilateral trade balance. You cannot make this stuff up. This is not it used to be not a Mickey Mouse country, my country. But this is Mickey Mouse. This is not, and I apologize to Mickey Mouse. He would not do this. Mickey Mouse is smarter than this. So we are in a crazy land, actually, with this. Now, it stopped for a moment. We'll never hear those numbers again. I don't know what we'll hear in 3 months. God help us, really. Because it probably won't have to do with trade. It'll have to do with something else. But we can't normalize this as what's the rationale, how to negotiate, what to do. Of course, 60 countries immediately said, we'll rebalance with you. And the President of the United States literally used the language I'm about to use. I'm quoting him because otherwise I would never say this. He said, 60 countries are coming to kiss my ass. He said that in a public speech, the President of the United States. So this is, I'm sorry, I apologize.
No,
but it's presidential language.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm only speaking at high political terms. So we cannot normalize this. We have to say no. We didn't spend 100 years on 200 years, 207 years since David Ricardo put forward the idea of comparative advantage, okay? And we have been building the trade system since the ruins of World War II for 80 years. And we have been building the World Trade Organization, which the US led the creation of, I think it's fair to say, for 31 years. This should not be normalized to try to figure out what is the theory of this. And it's a more fundamental point, ladies and gentlemen. The United States is a rogue nation right now on many things, not just on trade, but on making Gaza into the US Riviera, on whatever it wants to say. It's a little bit of a rogue nation. For the world to hold together, the rest of the world has to say, we're not going down crazy lane. We're going to be responsible. We're going to go to the UN. We're going to go to the World Trade Organization. We're not going to get into this downward spiral. Because if we normalize craziness, there is no way out.